ChickPicks. ChickPicks. Y'all know what time it is, guys. It's LeRoiStephon. And I'm here to give you all the ChickPicks for Wednesday, July 28th on Draftkings and FanDuel. We've been spot on these last couple of days. I think we're one of the better podcasts out there for WNBA plays. But let's go ahead and get into the ChickPicks for today. Let's start off with our Draftkings slate. Okay, guys? Okay, let's start off with the Draftkings slate. I'm loving this New York versus Dallas game as from the standpoint of fantasy production. Enrique Oginbolli should have a great game. She should be able to pull that off. But she's a taste expensive, and it's going to be hard to fit in. But her, Alicia Gray, should be good for 25 to 35 points. If she did as well against the top defense, one of the top defenses in the WNBA in Seattle, she can do great against this defense with New York, who doesn't have the size nor the skill that Seattle has at any position almost. I love Sabrina Ionescu. She had a down game last game, but so what? So what? She shot a lot of shots. She got a lot of usage. And if she can come here and let me pull up Sabrina. And this is Dallas. This isn't Seattle. She had a really tough matchup first game out. But she's still one of the better players to come in the WNBA in a long time. And she scored 25.5 points in a lackluster performance. I love Ionescu here as contrarian play. I get exposure to her. Like I said, this is another player from New York versus Dallas. Her ownership is going to be way down. Alicia Gray is an excellent play. Excuse me, I got so many guards here. Alicia Gray from Dallas is excellent. She is $4,000 cheaper than Enrique Oginbolli. Her ownership will be a lot lower, and she can do all that Oginbolli does and more. Love Alicia Gray at $7,700. Let me see some of my other favorite guards here. I'm not so much in Shekinah Strickland. Is $6,300. Very interesting play. Great three-point shooter. She's always good for somewhere between 15 and 30 points. That's what she does. It all depends on how her shot is falling. But depending on her usage, I mean, I think she shot 7 threes last game. I don't know if she was shooting that many in Connecticut. So, you gotta like Shekinah Strickland get more usage with the Atlanta Dream. I like her a lot. The Blake Dietrich got a lot of minutes and usage. I'm not quite sure if that was blowout run, but she played 27 minutes. It was not. That's she had rebound, she had assists. She's only $4,100. Excellent salary saver on the slate. Any more tasty picks? Kennedy Carter is an excellent play in the Atlanta versus Las Vegas game. I mean, that's another great game to target is Atlanta versus Las Vegas. They bleed blizzy points. At least Atlanta does. As far as guards, that's kind of the only guards that I'm really into. Kelsey Mitchell is a little bit expensive for my taste. I'd rather have Alicia Gray at $7,700. Taurasi and Diggins are live. Not as live as they were last slate, though. Okay, that kind of does it for my guards on DraftKings. When it comes to forwards, I love A'ja Wilson. I love Angel McCoughtry. Okay, and I love Dietrich Hamby. You just gotta love anybody versus this terrible Atlanta front court. So, not Kylie Shook. I said Dietrich Hamby. Hamby should have a great game. A'ja Wilson should have a great game. McCoughtry should have a great game. Hopefully it just stays close. Hopefully they don't blow out. But without Liz Cambage, without as much size as they had, Atlanta might be able to hang in there. The one thing about targeting this game really heavy is the threat of the blowout. This game could blow out, get ugly, and not be as much upside to the plays. I think New York Dallas has the potential to stay closer because both of those teams are kind of equally bad. Las Vegas is one of the better teams in WNBA, but they do give up a lot of points and kind of struggle on defense. I love those three players. Who else do I love on this slate? From a standpoint of the forwards, not too much else I absolutely love. Brianna Turner at 5,600. That's way too cheap. She scored. She did well in a tougher matchup, and she's starting. And I don't know if that's the right thing for the Mercury, but listen, for our DraftKings teams, 5,600 is a steal. It's a snag. So I love Brianna Turner. So Turner, Hamby, McCautry, Wilson, I like them. Isabel Harrison is a great play versus New York. They don't have the size to necessarily deal with her. Billings versus Las Vegas. I don't know if she has that 55-point upside that she put up against Dallas, who didn't have anything it took to kind of hang with her. Asia Wilson and Dearica Hamby and some of these other players can kind of deal with Harrison a lot better. Kia Stokes should have an easier matchup against Dallas. She scored 24.8 points. She could go for 30, 35 here against Dallas. Dallas is a lot weaker over front court. Let's switch over to FanDuel, where we're going to do our top plays. And, okay. We're going to have Angel McCautry. We're going to have, of course, I love Asia Wilson on the site. She's a taste expensive. 7,800 is a lot to play for a game that could blow out, and just for anybody. I mean, she definitely should put up around 35 to 45 for sure, and that price is worth it. But I like McCautry. I like Asia Wilson, of course. I like Hamby better than Wilson because she's a bit. Not a bit, but a lot less expensive. And she has as much upside on some nights. So I love Hamby at $5,900. I think that's too cheap against this Atlanta front court. I think Isabel Harrison is a bit more plausible of a play at 6,400 on this website. Billings, a bit much to ask. The value forwards are not too much. Satu Sabali is going to have an easier matchup. She will not be on Billings this game. She's going to be on somebody probably not as good. Maybe Kayla Thornton. Not Kayla, no, excuse me. Amanda Zawi B. Kylie Shook. Like, Satu Sabali can get off this game, and she's only $5,100. I like Kia Stokes, too, man. For $5,000, she can score like 30 to 35 points. So, I like Sabali. I like, and Brianna Turner, of course. Some great value right there. Usually it's value guards, but you can go with some value forwards this time. Those are all the forwards I like, high price and low price. And then as far as guards, of course, Enrique Oginbolli, but she is very expensive. Very expensive, $7,000. Kennedy Carter going up against a high-paced Las Vegas team. And she should play all the minutes she can handle at $6,300. It's looking like a snack. Ionescu is very interesting. Her ownership will be highly affected by the terrible game she had last game. She's $6,100. People won't be as high on her. Lanisha Clarendon, I just put her in. Like, that's kind of lock button. 5,200. That's too cheap for what she's doing for this team. She is the point guard here, and she's got the reins. While Ionescu is kind of learning, Tiffany Mitchell and Kelsey Mitchell, usually the guards stay in between on winning lineups $4,000 and $5,000 or $4,000 and $6,000. Kelsey Mitchell and Tiffany Mitchell are excellent plays for that reason. Okay. And she kind of Strickland down here, way down here, at 40. What is she, like $4,100? She's way too cheap. She should be a lot more. She should be a lot more. She kind of Strickland can put up 30 points. Those. Did I leave any guards out? Let me go back up to my high price guards. So I had Ogunbowale, I had Ionescu, I had Kennedy Carter. I'd rather have the cheaper guards. Ogunbowale can put up the points, but damn, she costs her arm and a leg, and I want some of them forwards. But maybe you don't need the big price forwards, especially if that game blows out with Las Vegas versus Atlanta. They might not put up the points that they should, so maybe you get the expensive guards. Alicia Gray is a great play. She's super expensive over here. Second most expensive guard on the slate. Kennedy Carter is probably in the top price range, like $6,000 to $7,000, the best play. She's the cheapest and she's gonna take the most shots. So Kennedy Carter is my favorite high price. Ionescu could take a lot of shots too. I like her too, but you gotta find those value guards, and then the forwards kind of bring it home. But it could be a little different this slate. Could be a little different. I think at least one or two of those Vegas girls is gonna be on the winning lineup though. And there's a lot of great value plays for it. Like I said, Brianna Turner. Satu Sabali, Kia Stokes. They are all a little too cheap. That's going to do it for ChickPicks. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys hit that subscribe button on this website. Head over to also NegroJitsu.com. That's eventually where all this WNBA premium product is going to be, over at NegroJitsu.com. So head over to NegroJitsu.com, subscribe to this channel, Black Negro Jitsu, and keep up with all of our ChickPicks. Peace out. I'll talk to you later.